As you can see, I'm in the forest, and so is the professor, and the professor would like to speak to us. Hello, Zygarde Soul. What have you been up to? Catching Pokemon? Exploring a new route, perhaps? As for me, I've been absorbed in reading a research article about the order Pokemon, Zygarde. The writer hypothesizes that Zygarde monitors the ecosystem from deep within the cave where it lives. And when the ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power. I wonder if it ventures outside for other reasons. Here's an idea for a paper. Zygarde habitats and migration patterns. What do you think? I wonder what other activities and locales might interest Zygarde. Try to come up with a few theories while you're out exploring. Okay, so the professor wanted me to catch 10 Pokemon, and then I've used 5 berries to help catch Pokemon, and then I have to walk 1 kilometer. So I'll get back to you guys when I'm done with that. Alrighty guys, so I got out and I did the research. I finished page 1 of From A to Z, A to Zygarde. So let me claim all this. Alright, got 500 dust, and there's a professor. Welcome back, Zygarde Soul. While you were out, I caught up on observational reports from local trainers. Curiously, several mentioned amorphous green blobs they found along routes. Some trainers even thought they might be alive. I have a theory about what those wobbly blobs might be, but I'd like to review my research materials first. Maybe even reread that article from earlier. In the meantime, please continue your fieldwork. I'm positive I'll have a less amorphous update by the time you get back. Oh, and I suggest you power up your Pokemon, just in case you run into anything unexpected out there. Alright, I have to make 5 breed throws, power up Pokemon 5 times, and hatch eggs, so I'm gonna work on that. I finished part 2 of 6, let me claim all this. Claim. Stardust. There you are, Zygarde Soul. You'll never guess what happened. As I combed through my notes, I saw something blur past me and come to a screeching halt outside the lab. It moved fast, but I'm almost positive it was the very Pokemon I've been investigating. Zygarde. It might still be here. Check it out. And here, take this. I'll explain how to use it once you're back. Ooh, autocomplete. Let's see. Is it gonna be Zygarde? And Zygarde Cube and an encounter. Oh, it's Zygarde, the 10% form, the dog form. I'm going to give it a pineapple berry, and I'm going to catch it with a Pokeball, because that's fitting. There, I caught it on the first ball, and I have a Pokemon Mega, so I have more candy now. Into the Pokedex it goes, right next to Yveltal and Xerneas. And there we go. It's pretty cute. It's garbage. Figures. And there's the professor again. Incredible, Zygarde Soul. So it really was Zygarde. Zygarde is a curious Pokemon. It's made of Zygarde cells, and its appearance depends on the number of cells it has gathered. I'd say this one has about 10% of its cells. It'll change and grow as it collects more. And that's what my gift is for. The Zygarde Cube can be used to store the Zygarde cells that you find. You can think of it as a nest for those cells. And as for where you can find those cells, do you recall those green blobs that have been found along routes? I reckon they were, in fact, Zygarde cells. Could I ask you to test that hypothesis, Zygarde Soul? So the professor wants me to follow 3 routes, catch 20 Pokemon while following routes, and find a Zygarde cell. So I'm going to work on that. And I'll check back with you guys once I finish that. Alrighty guys, so I finished part 4 of From A to Zygarde, so let me just claim all this. Survived and Pokeballs, candy, Stardust, 1000 XP. There's the professor. Excellent work finding your first Zygarde cell, Zygarde Soul. You're off to a great start to assembling Zygarde's forms, but there's a long journey ahead of you. Yeah, there is. You need 200 some for the largest Zygarde form, the final form, but I'm not going to do that. I like the snake, so I'm just going to do the snake. It looks like this Zygarde needs to collect 250 cells to reach its complete form. It seems the cells are only gathering along routes, so you've got a lot of traveling in your future. I can't wait for you to get started. Just think of all the Pokemon and friends you'll meet on the way. Explore a few more routes, and I suggest you use an incense while you're out there. We've got to keep up with our studies of our Pokemon as well. Alright, so he wants me to use an incense while following around, earn 3 candies walking with your buddy, and follow 5 routes. So I'm going to work on that. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I'm done with that. Alrighty guys, so I finished the final part from A to Zygarde, so let me just claim all this. Finally finished all the routes. I'm not a huge fan of the routes, but it gets you a heart with your buddy, and you get Zygarde Cells. So you get that XP. Welcome back, Discord. So you traveled 5 entire routes. Well done. That adventurous spirit is what makes you such a joy to work with. I'm sure Zygarde appreciates your perseverance too, and your efforts will be well rewarded. In its complete form, Zygarde has enough power to overwhelm even Xerneas or Yveltal. Zygarde can radiate high-powered energy from the orifice on its chest. It uses force to neutralize those who harm the ecosystem. That's some good motivation for us to each do our part, eh? Even little things like recycling when we can. But I don't think we should need a threat to want to care for our surroundings. After all, Pokemon and even trainers like yourself do their best in a healthy environment. We should all work hard to make the world a place where everyone can thrive. I'll leave you with that thought, Discord Soul. Smooth travels on your journey to gather Zygarde Cells. And let me be the first to know when you've collected enough to see its complete form. I'll be waiting on the edge of my seat. So I'm actually not going to put it into the complete form because the snake form is my favorite. Let me just claim all this. Golden Raz. Claim this. And that's another research done. So let me just bring out Zygarde. There's Zygarde in its dog form, and I'm going to change it. It's weird that you can't change its form back, but I guess that's okay. And there we go, going into the snake form. There we go, the snake form. It's actually kind of small compared to in the anime. It's bigger in the anime, but that's okay. It's not very good, but I definitely want to best buddy it. So that's going to be it for the Zygarde research. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Alrighty, guys, it looks like we have an introduction to a new NPC. His name is Mateo, and here he is. Well, hey there, I'm Mateo. You must be Discorded Soul. Professor Willow has told me a lot about you, so it's grand to finally put a face to the name. I hear you've been a great help with his research. That's actually how he and I met, out in the field. I come from a long line of researchers and love observing Pokemon in different habitats. My travels take me all around the world, and I enjoy picking up gifts from the places I've been, as well as sharing those gifts with the trainers I meet. Whenever you hear adventure calling, find me on a route and I'll show you what I mean. So I finished all this research. I can't remember what it was, what the quests were. So I'm just going to claim these. And then I just have to exchange a gift with Mateo at the end of a route, so I'm going to do a route. And Lillipup, not shiny though. But Mateo is pretty cool. He reminds me of those hikers in the main series games where you battle them. He just looks a lot like that. And yeah, I hope they give him more stuff to do in the game. Maybe wonder trades or possible global trading. Very limited. I'd like to get some of my lucky trades from around the world done, because there's no way I'm going to meet them because they're clear across the world, like Australia, the UK. Somewhere I'm never going to travel, unfortunately. Alright, there's Lillipup, and I'm going to work on the rest.
Heyo, Discorded Soul, Mateo here. Fancy running into you on this route. Aren't the great outdoors, well, great? There are so many sights to see and trainers to meet. One of my favorite things to do when I bump into a friendly face is to exchange gifts. It's my way of connecting trainers around the world. So, are you up for a little gift swap? Thanks for making another Trainer's Day. I hope you enjoy your new keepsake too. Till next time.
Alrighty guys, so I finally finished part 1 of a route to new friendships with Mateo. So let me just claim this. Claim that incense. 1,000 Stardust. 1,000 XP. There's the Professor. Good to see you, Discorded Soul. So you've had the chance to check out a Route A. I've been doing routes. I find it invigorating to follow in the figurative footsteps of our fellow explorers and see the world through their eyes. It's also a great way to pick up gifts to share with other trainers. And speaking of routes, I see you've met my good friend Mateo. We go way back. He's a gold star guy, and I hope you get to know him as well as I do. By the way, did you see the tape measure Mateo keeps wrapped around his hat? He keeps it handy to better survey the land he travels and to measure the Pokemon he encounters, especially if they're small. And I'll let him tell you more about that. Now, in the spirit of Mateo, why don't you get out there and explore some more routes yourself? Okay, so Professor wants me to catch 7 Pokemon, spin 5 Pokestops, explore 3 kilometers, and walk 1,000 meters while traveling routes. So I'm going to work on that. It'll take me a little bit, but I'll get it done. Alrighty guys, so I finished part 2 of a route to new friendships, so let me just claim all these. Claim the Pokeballs, claim the XP, claim these 2 Pokemon. Wooloo, haven't seen that in a while. I'm going to give it a Pineapple Berry, because I don't have much candy for that. There we go. And go to that other Pokemon, Woobat, which could have been shiny. But I have plenty of those shinies, I don't need it. There we go. And then gonna claim this research. Alright. Dust, Great Balls. There's Mateo. Well, if it isn't my new friend Discorded Soul, I enjoyed running into you on my last outing. You taking care of yourself? Me, I always make sure to drink plenty of water when I'm out on a route. Hydrate or, well, dihydrate. Hydrate, I always say. I've started doing lunges between routes too. Talk about taking a big step forward. Get it? A big step? Gahahaha. My little sister taught me that joke. Speaking of, I can't wait to show her all the amazing postcards I've collected, like the one I got over in... Oops, there I go again. I just have so many stories to tell. And I'm sure you will too if you keep following routes. Now I ought to get going, but I'm sure our paths will cross again soon. See you on the road, Discorded Soul. Alright, so what do I have to do? Hatch an egg, spin 15 Pokestops, complete 5 field research tasks, and exchange a gift with a Mateo at the end of a route 3 times. So that's going to take me a little bit, not as long as the last bit, because I had to walk 10 kilometers. But I'm going to work on this, and then hopefully that'll be it for this research. Alrighty guys, so I finished part 3 of the route new friendships, so let me claim all this. The top one was a V-Bass, but it wasn't shiny or anything, so let me just claim the rest of this. Claim this Pokemon, Sneasel, Galarian Sneasel that could have been shiny. Glad I saved the research, because I don't think it was shiny when it first came out. The research, I mean. Here we go, I caught it. And I'm not quite sure if I like the shiny or not, because the shiny is yellow, but it's like a muted yellow, and it kind of looks cool when you evolve it into Sneasler. That was not a good Sneasel. Let me just claim this last bit. 3 Ultra Balls, 1,000 Stardust, and there's the Professor. Discorded Soul, it seems like you and Mateo have become fast friends. I'm thrilled you two have hit it off. It's clear that your decision to exchanging gifts has made an impression on him. He even left some items for me to pass along before he set off on his next adventure. Please give Mateo my regards when you see him. And remember, as you explore routes and exchange gifts, you're bridging the gap between traders around the world. That's true. Alright, so I just have to claim all this. This page is automatically completed. Claim that, claim this. Dust, XP, and another Sneasel. Not shiny though. So. And that's going to be the end of this research. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me catch Zygarde. I am glad it's finally in its snake form, and I'm going to work on best fighting it. I'm hoping we can get another Zygarde, or at least trade it, maybe, because mine wasn't very good, and I would like another one. So, yeah. This is going to be the end of the video. Bye, guys.